Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. This is Solid State Alchemy. This is my YouTube channel. I'm Mike. We're in my basement. It's very dark. That's okay, because mostly what you're going to see is the screen here. So in order to optimize my gaming ability, or just making sure that my cheater control here works, so I don't have to use this terrible mouse and try to play games on a live stream. Okay, so what do we got going on here? So we're dealing with my newly acquired, or recently acquired, Dell XPS 8300. This PC is about 10 years old. I'm going to kind of rearrange my desk a little bit here so I can get a better shot of the PC itself. I don't know. I'm sure some of you older guys, or people who grew up with a Dell XPS in your home, will recognize the kind of iconic form factor. XPS machines for a long time had very unique shapes in the pantheon of pre-built PCs, right? Not so much in the pantheon of like DIY cases. DIY cases are definitely way outside the box compared to most pre-builts. But amongst pre-builts for a long time, this XPS, the Studio line, and then even the big, huge XPS full-size towers that I personally love, that have that kind of like aerospace motif to them, definitely stood out among a lot of the modern day pre-builts of that time. For that time. The one who was like always like a little bit a step ahead in like the weirdness factor, I guess, or just like the over the top aesthetics factor for the case, was obviously Alienware. See if I can get my mic a little bit closer here. Hopefully that helps the sound some. Bring this down just a little bit. You guys aren't really watching me anyway. You're looking at Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's take a look at story mode here. Actually, we should have probably just run a benchmark first, just to see what the benchmark looks like, but that takes quite a bit of time. I honestly have no idea if I have even played this game on this install on this drive. I've had to rebuild this drive a few times, and it's always a crapshoot on whether or not Steam saves my progress. So we may be starting from like square one on GTA 5 here, which is fine. So let me recap what I've done to the Dell so far. So when I got it, it was in fairly good shape. It booted right up. It had Windows 10 installed on a 500 gigabyte Seagate hard drive, Seagate Pipeline HD2. So I think that's basically just their pretty. Yeah, we're in the very first mission here. So, and it had a little tiny Dell BIOS GT720 graphics card in it. This is a very, very low powered graphics card. There's no external power. It had 1 gigabyte of DDR3 for VRAM, and it was, it's a basic graphics solution. It's basically one step up from integrated graphics. Really, really basic and very constraining for gaming, for sure. When I bought it, the guy said that this has been his gaming PC for a long time, but I can't help but think that he must have had some other graphics card in there. I would not wish gaming long term for years on anybody with this little guy. So, and it had 8 gig of mismatched green and blue stick DDR3, 1333 RAM, so swap that out. So now it still has the original i7-2600 in there. I refreshed the thermal paste on its stock cooler. I replaced the RAM with a 4x4 16 gig kit of Mushkin Enhanced, and we have a gigabyte GTX 770 2 gig with DDR5 VRAM. So we doubled the size of the VRAM buffer, and we also like massively increased its speed. And this thing played GTA 5 at like 20 frames a second at 720p low, and now we're gonna play. Let me see. If I can remember how to even like do GTA 5. So we want the graphics quality. What do we got here? We're on DirectX 11, 1080p, 75 hertz, FXAA. On, MSA is off, VSync is off. Population density is maxed. Population variety is maxed. Distance scaling is maxed. Texture quality is normal. Let's go. Ooh, that's too much. We can't do texture quality normal. It says we exceed our VRAM buffer. Although, I have gotten away with exceeding the VRAM buffer on a lot of games. So let's see if it'll keep up. Shader quality very high, very high. Reflections MSA is off. Water quality, let's go with just normal on water quality. High on particle quality. Normal on grass. Soft. Do high. There we go. That got us down to, if we use the post effects, high. So let's push our grass quality back up and our water quality back up. There we go. So, oh no, we're still above. I thought we got below it, but grass quality doesn't affect video memory. Shadows do. So we'll just go with soft. Hate motion blur. We'll go with by 8. Ambient occlusion's high. Tessellation's high. Okay. Alright. So that's a bunch of custom graphics here. But the big thing is we're at 1080p with high textures, right? 1080p, high texture quality. And we are going to exceed the VRAM buffer by a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't tank our performance too bad. I'm going to apply those changes. Okay. Oh man, I forgot that this game does not let you change. All right, so we're gonna have to go with normal. So let me go down here and what can I pick that will increase VRAM buffer? I want to get us as close to the limit as I possibly can. Very high. Ultra. Does this mess with VRAM? No. Okay, we'll try this. So we got some pretty high settings, but GTA 5 is one of those games that will not let you proceed if you're exceeding the VRAM buffer limitations. A lot of games will. This one, oh, now I have to restart. Man. All right, let's do it. One thing that I have noticed like straight away is that, of course, how is this a thing? Come on, guys. There's a considerable amount of heat. So what I have not done to this PC yet is I have not modified the front of the chassis to accept an intake fan. It doesn't require a significant amount of modifications, really. It is graded. There is a path for airflow. You need to remove the hard drive cage. The hard drive will still mount in there. It has to mount kind of offset from where it normally does, and you'll only get to use 2 screws, but it's fine. And 2 screws instead of 4, because if you use the traditional 4-screw mount, it pushes the hard drive too far forward into the front of the cage, and then there's no room for a fan. So you have to offset mount the hard drive, remove the hard drive cage, so you can only use one 3.5-inch drive. If that's all you've got, that's fine. There's still an open 5.25-inch bay up here that you could put an SSD into very easily, or another 3.5, honestly. And there's a couple of tabs on the pressed metal that I'm going to have to Dremel off to get the fan to have clearance to where it can actually spin. Because let me demonstrate with this little fan here. There's holes that you can screw the fan into, but those pressed tabs are turned in, and when the fan blades move, they hit them. So I got to Dremel off like a couple little tabs that are bent in. I'm assuming they're probably for tooling in the factory, so that there's a place for the tooling to grab and move the part off of the line, or to move it into position so that it can be bent or have further modifications done to it. So once I Dremel off those tabs, those old tooling tabs, I'll have plenty of room to mount a front fan, and that will basically that will be it. That will be everything but adding an SSD, right? So we're getting about 70, 80 frames a second right now. This is not a bad gaming experience, even with the normal textures. I don't remember how to use a phone. Did it just tell me? There it is. It's been a long time since I played GTA 5, guys. Sorry. Alright, we blew the safe. I know there's a big shootout coming here soon. So we're going to get to this shootout here and see how we do. I don't remember how to There we go. Oh, that was terrible. Okay. So that was actually fairly decent frame rate experience, though. I mean, we were in, the 60s the entire time. Temperatures are creeping up. It's definitely throwing some heat out the back here. I failed. I died. I'm going to escape. It's definitely making some noise. It's definitely making some noise. Some fan noise. For sure. But, it's 10-year-old gaming PC. Exit the game. Yes. Alright. Grand Theft Auto. Playable, for sure. 1080p. Kind of like a mix of settings to get as much of the VRAM used as possible. Boy, you can definitely... That CPU cooler is working. For sure. It'll be interesting to go back. I want to go back and watch the live stream because I was too busy playing the game. Because it was fun. It was like usable. I was like in it. I was like, I was not. There was zero. There were not enough stutters that were noticeable to make me be like, oh man, this is like unplayable. I can't do this. So GTA 5 is a pass. So the first two games that I attempted to see if they would even run on this little guy were Rocket League and F1 2019. So let's go to Rocket League next and see what the current user experience is now. Playing a couple of matches. We'll play some 4-on-4 chaos mode, just a casual game. Nothing ridiculous, and see how it's going. Let me check in on the stream here and see, make sure that I'm up and good. So who's live? I'm live. I got somebody watching. Okay, looks like I do have full audio, video going. Stream's going well. We're gonna give it a go here. Casual game, 4-on-4. We'll do something while we wait. We got 100 FPS in Rocket League. Nope. Yes.
Do you know where the wet
I'm streaming right now. I don't know. I don't know where it's at. Look under the sink down there. That's all I can say. Household duties. Oh boy. All right. We're in it. Okay. Get off me. Ooh. Come on. Come on. Yes! Whoa, did you see that? First goal. Like, oh, man. That was super good. I mean, not good of me. I mean, that was like total noob luck. But, that was like a super controllable, press the wrong button. Super smooth gaming experience. Yeah, please take it to your own goal, buddy. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Come on, get it across. Oh. Oh, just missed him. Oh. No. Come on. I'm over here. Yes. Oh, I got kaboomed. Yes, come on. Come on, get it across the goal, guys. There it is. There it is. Oh. Nope. Denied. What are we, 150, 100 some frames a second? Yeah, this is nice. This is too easy. Yes. This is too easy. Yeah, this is a awesome. Now, granted, you know, could probably run this game on like a Game Boy Advanced, but oh, went under it. Come on. There you go, Tex. Good job. Good fielding. Oh. That was some terrible defense on my end. Come on, get it across, guys. Come on, there's two of you over there. Come on. Ah, man. Oh, so close. Get it in there. Ah. I'm out of juice. Don't self-goal. 30 seconds. Just got to hold them off now. Yes, nice D. Yes. Golo. Nice. I don't know who gave me the push assist from behind there, but somebody smashed me. Nice. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. I think these guys all left the match. That's funny. Rage quit. Blue. Now that was an extremely enjoyable gaming experience. I had zero issues playing, you know, what is honestly a pretty easy game to run. Now, granted, you know, Game Boy Advanced, probably not. Because the GT720 played this game at these exact same settings at 20 FPS. So, yeah. Not like... it was not enjoyable at all. It was not enjoyable to play this game on that graphics card. Yes, I do. So that's 2 games in. You know, we're doing like 60-ish, 60, 70 FPS on Grand Theft Auto 5. We're doing like 150 plus at Rocket League. Oh man, we didn't look at what the let's go back in and look at what the graphics settings are on Rocket League. It looked fine. I mean, I don't know what the upgraded graphics would look like and what that would do to performance. Let's get back in there and just and take a quick look at that again. Yeah, I should have looked at that. Anybody on stream? No. Nobody's watching. Blasting this all out into the ether. That's fine. What were we at settings wise? Gameplay, camera controls, video. 19 by 1080p, high quality everything. So is there a higher quality? No, high quality. All of the things checked. High quality, FXA, high. Yeah, that was like good. Now we're gonna quit. 150 FPS, 1080p, Rocket League, high quality. You could step that down if you feel like you need 200 FPS in Rocket League, you could totally do that. But if you're on a 144 hertz 1080p monitor, then you're pretty much good if what you're looking to do is play Rocket League. And then you're 60 FPS on whatever settings. I turned up all of the settings basically, except for the settings that would manipulate the VRAM buffer. We could not exceed the 2,000 megabyte limitation there for some reason. Now, it's time to answer that age-old question of, will it play Crysis? It tries to do this every time. Install this Punk Buster stuff and Spy Comrade. Like, I hate it. Like, I don't want it. I do have Crysis from, I want to say, Origin also, I think. I know I have it from another, oh no, I have it from GOG, I think. I think I have Crysis from GOG. I should just install that and not use the one from Steam. It keeps giving me all this, like, bloatware. I don't want any of that crap. I don't want Punk Buster. I don't want Spy Gamer, Comrade, whatever. Garbage. See, look, Crysis, 2,000 frames a second. I mean, that's all you need to know, folks. That's all. That's literally all you need to know is that we're running Crysis at 2,000 frames a second. Let me turn this lamp on. I'll give you guys the full streaming setup here as I knock the camera over. It looked pretty dark. It looks dark in here. I don't know if that even makes a difference.
Okay. Looks like I do have
Just watching the stream back a little bit, making sure everything's good out there. So, play some single player. I think I better have some games on this. I think that this is right before the first, like, big firefight. Let's hope. And it's not even really that big of a firefight. The first, like, enemy engagement. Well, no, that's not true either, because I guess there's got those guys on the beach at the beginning. So the first checkpoint where you have to disarm the what do you call that? The jammer. The jammer. Get to the jammer. Alright, so right now, yeah, started off super high, but I figured it would level down to about 100 FPS. So let's take a look at what our settings are here. Options, system settings, graphics, 1080p, anti-aliasing is off. Let's turn that to 8A. It's like a good medium ground. Yes. Okay, alright. Advanced. Okay, everything, so I think, yeah, looks like we're on the high preset. Change all settings to high. Apply. Yes. Okay. High preset. We're going to resume game. High preset, anti-aliasing at 8. I don't remember what my... that's crouch. That's melee. Okay. That's binoculars. B. So what's prone with the controller? Jamming device. Landing zone. Dude down there. There's a dude there. What's prone with that's reload. That's melee. That's crouch. Is there no prone? I wonder if I can do a key binding for that. Mouse and keyboard setup. So prone is Z, but it's not gonna let me like. All right. Well. Nobody here but us chickens. Just hammering it. I don't know. What'd that give us on the FPS? This thing might not be the solution for good gaming on that game. Need to be able to do the key bindings. But overall, this seems like an extremely playable frame rate. I didn't notice any Jeez, that guy's got some good aiming skill. And I do not. I'm getting hammered. Now it's just kind of all over the place. Why are these going so high? Oh, that guy. I am not good at this game. I'm not good. I would be way better with the mouse controller, actually. Even this crappy mouse, I think. This controller, like, definitely doesn't have the key bindings the way I need them to be. Anyway, that was definitely playable frames. Definitely playable frames, even though I'm really quite terrible at that game. Not good at first-person shooters in general. Let's see. Let's just run it through. Let's run it through a couple of just synthetic game benchmarks here. So we got Metro Redux. I think this is Last Light Redux. I'm not sure. So we got high. We're gonna leave SAA off. We got 4x. Motion blurs off. Tessellation. We'll go with high. VSyncs off. Advanced physics off. Run all. Let's see how this looks. If memory serves, this benchmark is actually much harder to run than the actual game, which is weird. I don't know why some games like really do make the benchmarks like super, just really overly difficult. Looks like we're in the 50s. Oh, jumped up to the hundreds there. 50s to 60s right now. This is like, you know, one of the more difficult scenes right here, right through this particular portion is usually when you get your lowest average. And then once you hit this bus, it starts to come back up pretty quick. Yeah, we're in the 60s and 70s now. Got bullet arcs everywhere. Flame effects. Looks great. No hitches, no stutters. Yeah. And then I don't know, they give you this right at the end to like make the average jump way up high. So we'll probably wind up with like an 80 or 90 average, where the most of the time it was in the 50s to 60s, which, let's see what it pops up with. 77. Yeah, 77 average. I would say, you know, safe bet is 70 to 65 frames a second. 1080p, high settings. Got some texture filtering on. Let's turn on the anti-aliasing and see how that does. They'll probably knock off about 10%. We'll see. No, MSI Afterburner decided to come along for the ride. Yeah, we're in the 50s where we were in the 60s before. 40s even. 40s to 30s. So getting rid of the jaggies definitely impacted the frame rate considerably. Doesn't really look that good though. It's interesting. We're getting some artifact in there. I think it looked better with the AA turned off, honestly. I think the GPU was just able to cope better overall. Yeah. And then, you know, again, the super steep climb to get the averages to look like they're playable. And when they're not really. I mean, 40 FPS is not like unplayable, but I would definitely turn. Yeah, you can see we spent the vast majority of our time below 50 FPS here. So I would say that anti-aliasing off, quality high. Let's try quality medium with anti-aliasing on and tessellation on normal. See if we can get back to that 50 to 60 sweet spot. Remember, this is a 2 gig VRAM buffer, right? If this was a 770 with a 4 gig VRAM buffer, well, first, it wouldn't have been free. And second, it would be doing considerably better. We would have been able to boost the textures up considerably on Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, the anti-aliasing is really what's doing the most damage to the frame rate. But we are above 50 for the vast majority of this super demanding portion of the benchmark. So yeah, once we get past the bus, it gets right back up into the 60s. Once you got 15 NPCs on the screen running around, all kinds of bullet traces, it does tank it a little bit, but yeah, it looks like definitely playable with the anti-aliasing on. So I think turning that down just a little bit, and still looks good. This looks better than the last run, for sure. GPU temps are in the 70s, CPUs in the 60s. Yeah, you can see we're above 50 almost the entire time, and we're in the 60 range. We're touching 60 a lot. Here. So that's good. Average frame rate 74. I kind of discount, this portion, like right in here. This is way harder than most of the game, and I also discount this portion here because this is way easier than a lot of the battle scenes in the game. This is actually probably where what your actual real world results will be for 85% of your playtime is going to be in the 60 to 70 range, and then you're going to have a few dips down into the 50s in intense scenes. So that's pretty good. Metro is still really demanding on hardware, on all kinds of hardware. So to be able to play that with some decent graphic effects and have a good frame rate on a 10-year-old PC is pretty awesome. All right. I guess we have to play Fortnite. Boo. I say that only because I'm just really, really bad at it. Really bad at Fortnite. No one's watching my stream. Also, all my characters loot and stuff is super outdated. It's from a whole year ago, almost an entire year. It's crazy. GPU temps are still kind of high, man. It's flogging this little 2600. I really do think getting an intake fan up here is going to help. I can feel air moving into this grate though, so that is good. It's good to know that works, is functional, actually does allow the GPU to breathe some. 402 FPS on Fortnite. See, guys, totally fine. Totally fine. Oh, I gotta hold it. Hold the beat. All right, we go. Crop circles. Battle pass. Don't care. Nope. Why am I so granulated? Settings. 1920. Frame rates unlimited. 3D resolution. That's why. Let's get it up here. 100%. Apply. Do medium preset. 100% resolution scaling. There we go. Medium preset, 100% resolution scaling. I don't know any of the key bindings for this either. That's going to be fun. And by fun, I mean terrible. So we got 77 degrees on the GPU, 65 on the CPU, in the loading screen. It's going to get warm in there, boys. Okay, we got some jaggies on the frame time. Definitely getting some spikes on the frame time. Oof. That was rough. I'm gonna go with Don Ziglione. I don't know. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Frame time spikes are really bad. Let's go to settings. Let's get this down to low. I want to keep the resolution the same if I can. I don't want to drop the resolution scaling, but oh, it looks like I may have to. God, this is terrible. I thought I picked up a Pistola, but I guess I did not. random assortment of useless crap. Knock down a guard. I guess that's a thing you can do. So the Jaggies have seemed to have gone away. I don't know if there's like assets that needed to kind of load in or whatever, but the it feels like overall that the smoothness of the game has gotten better. Feels like the smoothness of the game is better. Yeah, definitely gotten better. So we're like 140 FPS right now. So that's good. I think I'm going to try to get inside the circle here. Still, every once in a while, there's like a there's a hitch every once in a while. We're at 78 degrees on the GPU, 72, 71 on the CPU. Uh-oh, what's going on here? I do not want to swap that for the pistol. I like being in the cornfield. You know, just driving my jet boat around. Nothing to see here. Yeah, we got marked. That's fine. I tried to ambush them, but got marked instead. Alright. So, Fortnite's not like primo perfect. It's probably like a little bit of dialing in. That was low settings, 1080p. I think there's like there's a competitive setting or something like that. What is that called? Is there like a advanced graphics? I thought there was like some kind of prefix for playing Fortnite on old old hardware. So it wasn't like 140 FPS, but the problem was that there was like always, if you're watching the frame time, there was the hitches. You'd see those spikes in that line, and you could definitely feel it. Like while you were playing it, you could definitely feel the hitch in the gameplay. It was really bad when they were like one after another, after another, after another. It got better over time after I lowered this down to low. We kept the resolution at 1080p for the entire time. So it was playable. It wasn't like the most wonderful experience ever, but it was playable. It's making like some loud noises. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm gonna try to get it closer. If you guys can hear the sound coming out of this. It's pretty noisy. It's definitely like audible and noticeable. Pardon me while I mess with the microphone some more. So yeah, we are at 80C on the GPU, and immediately, like once the game closes down, the sound like goes away immediately. Okay, so what have we played? We played Rocket League. I suck at Crysis. I suck at Fortnite. What else did I play? I don't know. Is that it? Let's look. What else we got here? Let me look at my Xbox account here. See what else we've got on tap. Oh, we played some Grand Theft Auto, and I sucked at that also. But overall, I mean, I would say like these three for sure were playable. Original Crysis, Rocket League, Grand Theft Auto. Fortnite's playable. It's just not wonderful. What else have I got to look at here? I got this game. I downloaded it on Xbox Game Pass and never played it. So yep, Doom Eternal Battle Mode. Why not? You're at the limit for the number of devices that can be used with games and apps from the store. So that's weird because I was just playing Elder Scrolls on this exact same PC. Let's just play Skyrim. I know this is gonna run flawlessly. I don't know why we even bothered, but Skyrim's still a highly played game. People do like it. Just hoping to get something going a little bit more modern. No Skyrim. Let's find something else. What do I got? What's new and fresh? Red Dead? Let's try Red Dead. Also Metro Exodus. Pretty good stack so far. Playable frames. Playable, not perfect. Very playable, very playable, very playable. Now, Red Dead Redemption. Oh boy. What's it gonna be like? What's it gonna be like? Red Dead Redemption 2? Ooh. I'm still staring at this this loading screen on Rockstar on the stream. Oh, here we go. Myself looking at myself, looking at myself. Weird. That's some like Inception stuff going on there. Ooh, I don't know what resolution this is, but it is not 1080p. We're in the Vulkan API. Interesting. See how that goes. So far, I would say like this is a usable gaming PC. Now, you know, I should probably go get like Battlefield 5 or 1 or something like that and play that. I don't have that game. I know that's a really heavy hitter as far as just like taxing the resources, but so is this. So this game is probably the most taxing of system resources of any game I currently own. I don't own Cyberpunk 2077. My kids got it, but I don't have it on my account. Yeah, it's, I don't know why MSI Afterburner is in like freaking 720p on here. Maybe we're on 720p. I don't know. Settings. Display. Oh, that was weird. Allow access. Why? What is going on? Why am I in freaking... Why am I in windowed mode? Display. Graphics. Output monitor 0. .1080p. Quality preset. Balanced. Okay, so what resolution can I get to? Let's go with favor performance. .900p. So I'm at 900, 1440 by 900, 16 by 9. Will not let me get past 1600 by 1024. What will that look like? It's going to stretch it out and make it look weird. So screen type, Windowed, borderless. Weird. No. So 900p is like the best it will let me do with the 2 gig VRAM buffer. No VSync. I want 1080. I want 1080. We won't do it. It will not do it. Alright, so 1440 by 900 it is then. Let's just run a benchmark test and see how that performs. It's frustrating. I really want this to be in 1080p, but I don't know if there's a workaround to get this guy to run 1080p with 2 gig of VRAM. But right now, it doesn't look like it's possible to run Red Dead Redemption 2 on a 2 gig card at 1080p. It's going to limit you to 1440 by 900, which is basically like 900p, which isn't like a terrible, it's not like a muddy, fuzzy resolution, but it's definitely not as crisp as as 1080 would be. I don't think this monitor does like any kind of upscaling. I don't think it has any capability to upscale the resolution to 1080p. It's taking a while. $256 FPS. Okay, no, now we're down. We're in the 40s with heavy snow. Yeah, it definitely just doesn't look quite as good. Yeah, we're in favor performance, and we're at like everything low, 900p, and we're getting into the 40s. So Red Dead, games like Red Dead, games like Cyberpunk, probably just a little bit beyond the capacity of this. I don't know. Well, now we're in the 50s to 60s. So if you are comfortable at playing at like 30 plus FPS, you might even be able to turn up the graphics settings just a little bit. You can get in that 30 to 40 range. But let's see how it does when there's a bunch of NPCs on the screen and Arthur's running around, running amok in Saint Denis. Yeah, it's definitely fuzzier. It's just not as clean and crisp at 900p as it is at 1080. That's a shame. So 2 gig cards, you know, most modern games are going to require more than 2 gig to get to 1080p even. Most AAA titles, modern AAA titles, are going to need more than 2 gig, which I think most people already understand. But, you know, I seriously doubt that the game would even have started had I attempted to run it with this. So can you play Red Dead Redemption on this PC? The answer is yes. Will it be the most immersive experience that you could hope for? The answer is no. But considering that this, as it sits before me, cost me about $100, $100 to get a PC that's capable of playing this at a usable resolution, it's definitely not terrible. But I mean, you can see like the textures here on the register and everything are just really terrible. So I'm going to run this back a couple times if you guys want to come along for the stream and see if we can get how far we can get the textures up. Well, it just comes out and caps that dude right in the face. And see, so we're hovering in the 40s, so I want to see if I can work it to where in this particular section of the benchmark, and also in the snow mostly, that we don't drop below 30. If these two sections of the benchmark never drop below 30, then you'll probably never drop below 30 for your entire gameplay experience on this PC. So I want to see where that dividing line is. So I saw it get down to like 45 a couple times maybe, but 46, 45. So yeah, that was 42, 40. So we've got about 10 FPS to work with. See how far I can ratchet up the frames to keep it from dipping down below 30. They're dead or dying. And Arthur's off on his wagon. It's interesting to me, having played this game considerable amount of time, that when he shot the police off of the wagon, that those two horses didn't bolt, because it seems like a lot of times when you shoot the owners of or near the horses, they definitely run, even though they're on the wagons. So our minimum was 31. So we did drop down to 31 at one point, but let's see how far we can push this up and what we can get for. Now, we may again be limited by. Let's just see how far I can push this before a VRAM buffer says no. Okay, so all the way up. Interesting. I don't think I want to do that. Balanced. This is the first balanced setting. Let's try that. The first balanced setting of the graphics. Menus. And then let's benchmark this again. I forget you have to hold it in. Okay. All right. So hopefully this will get us an average that's above 30 FPS. Let's go. Can I see my own YouTube Studio while I'm live on my phone? I can. But it doesn't show me my live. Nope. Doesn't show me my live stream on the YouTube app. Alright, doesn't look like there's anybody out there talking. I'm talking into the void. That's fine. Alright, so this is the first balanced preset for Red Dead Redemption 2. And in this scene here, it doesn't really look like it's dropping any lower than it was. What I really want to look at is like the first place you can really see noticeable texture differences, because this is all like dark and foggy and kind of murky, and I don't really know what that medium preset turns up there. But one of the easiest points to spot it is the cash register when Arthur's holding up the drugstore in Saint Denis. So far, all these frames look pretty decent. Yeah, we're in that 40 range. And those are like noticeably, more detailed out there, the campfires. So I think I'm going to do one more run after this, and I'm just going to leave this preset as it is, but I'm going to go to the texture pack and just fire it all the way up. Because it doesn't look like the texture pack actually uses VRAM or commits more VRAM. So that's interesting. So we will attempt to see. Yeah, see that the textures on the cash register and on Arthur's coat and hat are not appreciably better than on the favor performance preset. Still hovering in the 40s. So a console killer this is not, because we're not at 1080p, so there's that. But for $100, this is definitely not terrible. Is that right? 100, so 50, 40, 10, yeah, it's about $100. About $100. If I put a hard drive, if I replace or add a like a 240 gig SSD, then it will be probably like $120. No, $20 for the GPU restoration, so $140 if I add an SSD. As it stands right now, it's $120. Still not bad. I mean, yeah, this is definitely a score. So we only dropped 1 FPS to the minimums, and then average, yeah, didn't even really change it all. So we're going to do one more run, and I'm going to go in here, and the texture quality, we're just going to, oh, I cannot. Interesting. So when I went in here, it allowed that. But it won't let me go past medium. Interesting. So it knows when you're messing with the quality preset for favorite quality, which one of these that you can mess with. Well, no. Oh yeah, so that one. Alright, so we're just going to go through and find everything that will let us push the image quality as high as we can get it within our allotted VRAM budget. Go from there, I guess. Nope. 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 Do I want TAA? Yeah, we've got those off. All right. We'll leave these. Let's run the benchmark. All right, so that's everything jacked as high as I could get it within the limitations of the VRAM buffer. Ugh. 2 gig cards, tough to work around. See what this looks like. So we're still gonna have shite for texture packages. So this is kind of a fool's errand, because we can't make the textures look any better because we are VRAM constrained. Even if this was a 3 gig card, I think we could get one more level of texture packs. Speaking of 3 gig cards, I wonder if I have a 7970 that I could put in here instead. What do you think? 7970 instead of a GTX 770? We'll go AMD instead of Intel Nvidia. We'll go Intel AMD. They might like start a fight in there. Although Intel's gunning for the GPU market too. Oh yeah, that took 15 frames off for sure. But it doesn't really look any better as far as I can tell. Because all we did was make a fuzzy line like softer. Mostly an already fuzzy line because there's no textures, and made that fuzzy line soft because we added anti-aliasing and some ambient occlusion light effects maybe. So there's really not an optimal, satisfactory solution for Red Dead Redemption 2 with this PC, other than putting in like a GTX 970 with 4 gig of VRAM. So the 970, or if I could get a 774 gig for free, which you cannot. Let's look up what is a 77 GTX 774 gig cost on eBay right now. I'm telling you, it's just absolute mayhem on the used card market right now. GTX 4 gig 770, $130. Let's see, hold on, let's sort. Ending soonest. So one NVIDIA EVGA 774 gig has bids at $130. 14 bids, bidding it up to $130. This version right here has one bid for $100, but it's got 4 days to go. Probably going to wind up well north of 150. So's that EVGA card. Yeah, there's a Asus Copper 2 version of this card, of the 770 Asus Copper 2 GDDR4 gig card, GDDR5 4 gig card. Buy it now for $220 for a GTX 770. Rough. It's rough. Yeah, that bumping all those presets down or up to the max. This is as much as you can throw at this card. This is the highest graphical fidelity that the game will allow you to push towards this card. And it's not doing very well, honestly. We're below 30 here now. And it doesn't look appreciably better. I think you would be better off just to go with the first or second balanced preset at 900p is going to be like your best bet. Mixture of decent 40 to 50 FPS performance and enough of the visuals. It's really, what makes this game special is the textures. They really just add like a world of detail that a lot of games don't have. This game, with this detail level, it looks like it's from the era that this card is from, from like 2010. It's just very muddy and flat and plain. And that's a shame. But again, for $120, what are you going to do? To get a PC that plays this game at 144 frames a second, 1080p high detail, cost you thousands of dollars. Even to get 60 at 1440p high detail, still an expensive computer to be able to do that. Yeah, that was not the setting. All right, enough of that. So this PC is not a Red Dead Redemption 2 PC. It's probably also not a Cyberpunk 2077 PC or a Control PC. Yeah. What else do we have? What else do I have downloaded on this? Crysis was fine. Metro was fine. Yeah, Metro Last Light Redux was fine. Red Dead Redemption 2 was not okay. Rocket League was awesome. I'm sure Rainbow Six Siege is going to be in the hundreds of frames a second. Like, no issues. And then what does Epic have for me? Epic Fortnite was like usable. There was nothing wrong with the Fortnite experience. It would be better on a better computer, it's just like the bottom line. But as far as like can you play Fortnite on this computer? Absolutely. Like 100% you can play Fortnite. You can play Grand Theft Auto on this computer. Far Cry 5. Let's try it. Let's see what Far Cry 5 gives us. I found this game runs fairly well on some surprisingly low-end hardware, but almost everything I've tested it on has been AMD and Radeon GPU CPU combos. So like a Ryzen 5 1600 with a RX 580 4 gig ran like fine, 60 FPS, 1080p, high setting. It was like good to go. It'd be interesting to see what this returns. So this is probably gonna be the last game of the stream, guys. I gotta get to getting. I know you guys got stuff you want to do. When I say you guys, I mean like literally no one who's watching the stream, so that's cool. All right. Tired. All right. Yeah, Ryzen Radeon. See, that's the reason right there that this game runs so well on those combos, is because it's because it is optimized. So this is like we're swimming upstream right now. Hopefully this game's been out long enough and it's had enough patches and optimizations to where, it doesn't just absolutely crap the bed. We're just gonna run the benchmark. See what it's looking like. But I think it's definitely more like an esports type build at this point. Options, video. So we're at low. Let's try normal. Oh, it says it's too much, but we're going to test it in the benchmark. We're at 2.6 out of 1.96. This is a 2 gig card, but it's really got 1.96, I guess. I don't know. Definitely got some jittery frame times. Sorry about the water noise. Will it run? It's actually a pretty smooth frame time. Pretty smooth frame time plot there. Yeah, a couple little stutters. Nothing crazy. Definitely not huge spikes. It definitely, the normal package here doesn't really bring out quite as much. Quite as much of the detail here, but still playable. Averaging 45 FPS. Yeah. I mean, could be much, much worse. It could be like Red Dead Redemption 2, or even it could be like Grand Theft Auto that wouldn't let us go over the VRAM limit. Like I'm appreciative of game developers who are like, you know what, I'm going to tell you that this exceeds our our VRAM limit, but it's up to you on whether or not you want to take our word for it and press forward or not. Technically, it'll let you run ultra or high with this without committing too much more. I mean, now so ultra is 2.69, normal is 2.61. Well, hell, let's just go with ultra. See what that looks like. Spend all that VRAM budget. We're in VRAM debt. VRAM debt. I'm not sure if it's actually like loaded in all the textures here. It doesn't look quite like its normal beautiful self, but could just be the something to do with the memory bandwidth on the card. Yeah, or the frame rate being down low. All right. Oh, see, now it says the VRAM was actually at 2754, so that was considerably more. Interesting. All right. It plays it. It does play it. You could play Far Cry 5 on this PC. I'm not sure it'd be like the end-all be-all experience, but you could do it. Definitely some warm air coming out the back here, for sure. Alright guys, so Dell XPS 8300, 10-year-old PC. That's pretty much, it's close to being the end of the road for my time with this guy. I'm going to do some case mods next. If you'd like to see case mods, please like and subscribe. Maybe find this, if you ever watch this video and you get the hour in to this, let me know. If you want to see me do a video about modding the chassis of this to fit a front fan and also whitening of this plastic that's supposed to be white but now has more of a creamy colored texture. I'm going to undertake those two things, give the whole thing a thorough cleaning, and then it's going to get listed on Facebook Marketplace in my local area, and hopefully return a little bit of the funds that I invested into it. All right, so again, this is my channel, Solid State Alchemy. I'm Mike, down here in my basement in the underbelly of the YouTube algorithm, doing silly stuff with computers. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified the next time I go live and stream some craziness. And by craziness, I mean like the absolute antithesis of craziness. Really, this is not crazy at all. This is probably pretty boring, unless you're a computer hardware enthusiast like me. All right, catch you guys on the next one.